Okay, so yesterday's video didn't come out quite the way I had hoped. I watched it a couple times last night, and I was laughing because I'm such a goober. And what I should have done was split that up, focused on one particular subject, which would be to say, aren't we like Vincent? How we are like Vincent? Blah blah blah. Just keep moving forward. And then the second one being the project, which is this guy. I really wanted to do this project beginning to end with you. And, as adults or children or whomever. But have a project done from beginning to end, something that isn't painting, because we're all living with limited supplies, or most of us, or a lot of us are. I don't know, maybe only a few of us. But I wanted to change gears from painting to drawing, maybe work on creating something with you. So I started this yesterday. We're going to start over again. We're going to start this project over again, and we will have it finished by the time we're done, hopefully. Hopefully. Let's go over what you're going to need. Excuse me. Normally when I'm working on my drawings, they're all pen and ink. They're always in black and white. I don't use color anymore. I don't want to, for various reasons that I can go over later. This is normally what I use is Strathmore Bristol paper. It's nice, heavy, thick paper, but I don't have a lot left in stock, so I'm not going to use it up right now. Plus, I want us all on as level a playing field as possible. This is scrap paper I have. I have to do printouts of sales at work, and I took them home so I could just draw on them as opposed to throwing it out and wasting paper. So I've got scrap paper. If you have old bills, you can use those, because this is not museum quality work. This is just, we're going to make something today, hopefully something fun. So we've got the scrap paper. I have an eraser. Usually I have a dollar store eraser, which is pink, and it's my favorite. I cannot find it. I don't know why. I've also got a glue stick, and this I bought from the dollar store. It really is one of my favorite places to go, because you're not paying $3 for one glue stick. You're paying $1 for 4. They come in a pack. I have really old scissors. These are dollar store scissors. I think these came from somewhere. I have no idea where. But so you'll need a pair of scissors, glue stick, eraser, obviously pencil, and markers. My Sharpie markers are all dried up. Otherwise, I would be using Sharpie markers with you. Instead, I'm going to be using my fancy pens. These are, excuse me, I'm not sick. Just have a tickle. Pardon me. These are Faber-Castells, so they're a little fancy. You can get them from anywhere from $1.69 when they're on sale to like $3.50. I think Michaels and AC Moore tries to charge you more. You can use coupons to get them. I love these. I've been using them for years. I don't even know how long. I've got the brush pen, and I've got, this is primarily what I use, is brush pen and medium pen. I have a fine, I just put a fine pen with the F on the end. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't really see. I don't really use it. It's just too tiny. This is what I use. The medium. Oh my God. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a little M on the end of the cap, a B on the end of the cap, a B down here. That means brush and medium. Those are my favorites. So pencil, eraser, glue stick, markers, drawing utensils. You can use crayons. You can use whatever you want. Pen, regular writing pen, Bic, and paper. Also, I haven't decided yet, we may want to stand these up. And if we do, you're just going to need empty toilet paper rolls or empty paper towel rolls. That's it. So we're going to start this entire thing over. This is Honey Bear. Honey Bear will be riding in a boat with his grandfather's scooter. Honey Bear is based off a bear I sent my grandson Max, who's out in Seattle. I sent Max a little bear. It was the first gift I gave him. First gift I gave him was Honey Bear. And they're almost the same size, which is funny. But Honey Bear is the grandson or grandchild of my teddy bear, Scooter, who's sitting right here. There's his little leg. So they're going to be riding in a boat together, just like in this illustration. This is Honey Bear, and this character has been renamed from, changed his name 3 times, HB to Dev to now he's going to be Max. Dev is now going to be Max in my story. So anyway, it's Honey Bear and Max riding in a boat. The Be Kind, the SS Be Kind. So we're going to redraw everything right down to the boat. Put that to the side. Excuse me. No, I am not sick with COVID-19. I just have really bad allergies. So I already started redrawing Honey Bear. Honey Bear is a circle, rounded squares up here for ears, circle for the eye, circle for the nose with a triangle in the center. Okay, big circle, rounded squares, eye, circle for nose, and a triangle in the center. If all you have is pencil, you're going to stick with it when we move to marker, okay? Or pen. I don't want anybody stressing out. This is just supposed to be a fun little side project. There's his body. His body is basically a rectangle. Just a round, soft rectangle. He's leaning over in the boat. So we're going to put him at a lean. Just do the best you can. There's his arms. His arms are just lines. And we're going to do his hands. Now he's going to have his hands on the boat. So physically touching the boat. Let me grab something. We have him right... Oh, that's Grandpa. Where'd Honey go? Little Honey. So I drew him there. Hand. Hand. And if they don't work with the boat we're going to make, I'll cut them off and re-glue them. It's not going to be a big deal. You'll know what I mean in a minute. Anyway, there's Honey Bear. Circle, circle, rounded squares, circle, triangle, rounded rectangle, line, line, oval, oval. There's Honey Bear. Now we're going to do Grandpa. We're going to do Grandpa, we're going to do Scooter on a separate piece of paper. Once again, we want it to feel free. We don't want the illustrations to feel stilted, which they could if we actually drew them on the same piece of paper. We're going to make Grandpa's head a little bit bigger. Let's make sure, yep, make sure you can see Grandpa's head a little bit bigger. There's his body. It's a rounded rectangle, and some of it's going to be hidden in the boat, so we're not going to worry too much about any of it. About the body. Anyway, so circle, rounded rectangle, circle again. I'm tilting his head up a little bit, so whereas Honey Bear appears to be at an angle with his rounded rectangle body and the face, the placement of the ears, Grandpa's going to be sitting up a little bit. Scooter's going to be sitting up. So he's got the rounded square ears. Another rectangle. Now on my Scooter, on my bear, whoop, actually, we're going to eliminate most of the snout because he is not on Scooter. We'll see why in a minute. I forgot where I was going. Now, Grandpa looks scared there. So we're not going to add that second eye. Oh, I know what it was. So on Scooter, Scooter has, 'cause I want to honor my little bear. Scooter actually has seams that run down his face. Oh, poor Scooter. Run down his face in this direction. So I'm going to stick with that. And I'm also going to show some of the imperfections of Scooter. I'm not necessarily going to show his arm falling off or his chest coming open and his mouth a mess. I don't want him to look like a zombie Scooter. But we're going to show some wear and tear on him eventually. He was well loved. And then we're going to give him a bit of a smile. Honey Bear is going to be concentrating. Grandpa will have a bit of a smile. With both eyes he looks creepy, so we're going to skip that. All right, so there he is. A circle to kind of gauge where his little rectangle nose would be. I did draw a snout. I erased it, added a little bit of a smile, but it's a circle, a snout, rounded squares, rectangle body, the triangle leading down to the triangle nose. So seams. I'm going to add the arms, and I'm not going to draw in the hands right now. Ooh. Scooter, you stay that big. We're going to need a bigger boat. I'm not going to draw Scooter's hands right now, because we're going to draw the boat. I don't like where his eye is. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's just about trying stuff on, finding things that will work eventually. And not quite what I wanted. I think we're going to leave that smile off. Yep, just like in painting, it doesn't have to be perfect from the get-go. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting him out a little bit so we can estimate the size of the boat. And I'm going to wait till I have the boat before I start doing ink work, which is a whole nother monster. It's not a monster, it's just a thing. Alright, so we've got our teddy bears, Honey Bear and Scooter. Don't really like Scooter having a snout. I don't like him without it in this illustration. So I'm just drawing in the muzzle, I guess, snouty thing, to think about it. Decide on that in a little bit when we get the pens out. Alright, so we got to keep the boat a certain size. I went pretty big on these guys, much bigger than this, unfortunately, but we're not going to turn back now, we're just going to keep going. So the boat is just one straight line. A curved back. And then the front has to be kind of a sharp angle because it cuts through water. Like your hand. When you're running your hand through water, you'll do this. It's cutting through water. Okay. There's our boat. And we're going to draw some lines going down. That's for texture. It's also to indicate wood. We've got an old wood boat. Scooter and Honey Bear are in. So there we are. It doesn't matter how many lines. It doesn't matter that they're not measured out. It doesn't matter. It's our boat. And hopefully we have a boat they can fit in. Now let's pull out our pens and get to work on drawing these guys. We're just going to be tracing over those lines. Ready? I like to start with the eye. Now as you can see, my lines are not perfect. None of the lines that I'm going to make are perfect. They're fat, they're thin, this one ran up, it doesn't matter. We're just going to keep going ahead. I find the beauty in the imperfections. Rounding the ear, rounding, coming down the face. Watch. Watch my lines. I come down, it's thick in some places, it's thin in others. There are dots, I jump a lot. It's okay, it's okay. That's where the beauty is. That's where your character comes out. That's where you as a person lie, is in the imperfections, is my feeling. So I'm going to tackle that little nose on Scooter. There's the seams leading down to his nose. Drawing one of his arms. The hands are not going to be attached to the arms, remember? We're going to do the hands separately. And then lines indicating his body. Okay? Now we're going to jump over to Scooter. I'm still thinking about his snout. I haven't made a commitment to the inside. I haven't made a commitment to his snout yet. Here we go. Same thing on Honey Bear. Imperfect circle. Imperfect lines. That's where the beauty is. Rounded squares for ears. Rounded square for ears. Oh, and I told you I like to start with the eye, and I didn't this time. Here's his eye. Oop. Oop. It's okay. Doesn't matter. There's his snout. Do arm. Yeah, I'll do the hand. Now look at that. It's another rounded square. It's like between an oval and a square, his hand. There's his arm. Another oval square. We may or may not keep them in that position, depending on the boat. Here's his body. Just 2 lines. That's it. We're going to darken up a couple of spots, so you're going to need to make thin lines. Ready? For his eyes. I'm just going, for me, I like to go at an angle. I like angles. There. Eye and nose. I don't have the second eye up. I don't find it interesting. We've tried it. The position I couldn't find correctly, so I'm just going to leave it. It's fine. Another angle for Honey Bear. His eye is just lines. That's it. Imperfect, beautiful lines. And then his nose is the same as Grandpa's. More lines. Not adding any more detail. Still have not decided on this circle. The snout, still have not decided. So I'm going to let it be. Let's pull out the boat. Ready? And do the top. Top of the boat, it's one line, imperfect lines. Perfectly happy with that. You know what, that's too hard. Going down, indicating the wood panels on the boat. See how I stutter? I get nervous because I want things to be perfect, and then they never are. So I've learned to accept them. Accept my lines. I'll let other people deal with perfectly straight lines. Maybe where they find comfort. Find comfort in imperfections. So now I'm going down. We've got our lines indicating the wood on the horizontal. So now we're going to do the outline on the vertical, on the body of the boat, whatever. Anyway, we're coming down. Look at these. Look at, I want to show you something. Slightly curved line, slightly curved line, slightly curved line. Come down this side, slightly curved line, slightly curved line, slightly curved line, all the way down. Okay. Let's grab the scissors. Okay. Once again. So we're gonna come close to the line, but we're not gonna but we're not gonna cut directly on the line. We're gonna leave some space. Okay. We're gonna leave some space between the lines and the edge where we're cutting. And the cuts don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be 1/4 of an inch away from the line. Nothing like that. We're just going to cut. We're going to keep it happy and light. And just cut. Let's grab Honey Bear. I have not erased his lines yet. I probably should. But we're here, so we're just going to cut. Once again, close to the lines, not right on them. Creating space between the black lines, or drawing, and the cut. But not perfect. Look at that. To me, that makes the project even more interesting. The imperfect cuts. I like to think, what are Honey Bear and his grandpa Scooter, or his grandparent Scooter, or their grandparent Scooter, doing in this boat? Are they headed to a beach for a day with a picnic? Are they headed out fishing? What are they doing? You can write your own story. Do they see each other every week, or do they only see each other once in a while? Or is this something Honey Bear is imagining, or something that Scooter is imagining could happen? Are they sitting together right now making plans to do this? What's going on? All right, once again, we're cutting out Scooter. He doesn't have any hands yet. You'll see why in a minute. Grandpa has no hands. Grandparent has no hands. So I'm cutting along the outside of the arm. I'm not going to worry so much about cutting any of this up into the arm at all right now. We're just going to do one big shape. I like to think too, what did Scooter do? We know that in my story, he is the mayor of his own town called Scooter Town. What did he do though? How did he get there? Was he a great hero to people in town? And they renamed the town Scooter Town after him? How did he get there? Ooh, they both look a little pudgy in my drawings, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so there they are. They're in the boat. They both do look a little beefy today. I don't normally draw them that beefy. I have a feeling that Honey Bear has been gaining the COVID-19, which is 19 pounds, from sitting around the house. This is after COVID, and they're better. I don't know. He is just beefy. He is what he is, and we're not going to worry about it. Let me see something. I'm going to grab. I've been using. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I've been using my brush pen. But right now, after placing them in the boat, I want to do something with Scooter. I'm using my medium-sized Faber-Castell, and I am going to do his snout. But it's not going to be the big fat lines. I don't know if this is going to feel right when I'm done or not. I don't really care. It is what it is. So it's not a big fat lines. Show you. I didn't do big fat lines. I did a series of little hatch marks, little lines coming out this way, and then I went around with a few straight lines and outlined or drew in the penciled in snout that I originally had. I also want to do one other thing. Because poor grandparent is older, and he has been stitched together a few times. So I'm going to give grandparent Scooter some stitches. Scooter has been through so much. We don't even know how much, but we know he's been through a lot. So now he's got stitches around his snout and down the rectangle that leads to his nose and in his ears. Sometimes grandparents have hair in their ears. We're not explicitly giving him hair in his ears. We're just giving him extra lines. Just 'cause. There, now he looks older than, a little bit older than Honey Bear. So we've got those two guys together. Now we're going to draw the motor that goes on the back of the boat. We're going to take a piece of the scrap paper that we had. Yeah, when we cut them out, we ended up with scrap paper because so far we've used up 3 pieces of paper and we don't want to waste it. We don't want to waste. So what we're going to do is draw the motor. yeah, we need the boat for size. We need the boat for size, but we're going to be drawing this, and it's really, really simple. Rounded square again, which we've done over and over again. In the ear, the. Rounded square. Rounded rectangle. It's not going to be sitting on top of a scooter. It's going to be sitting right there. So, sorry, rounded square-ish. Rounded rectangle-ish on the bottom. That's actually, the top one is more of a rectangle too. We're going to add this in a second, and this, we have to, oh, sorry, before I forget, we have to add that. Which is apparently what the motor is housed in. I don't know. I don't really know boats well. I have a thing about being in the water. So I don't do boats very often. There we go. Okay. We're going to come down. Okay. Let's move some of this to the side. Okay. Like this. Like this. So again, the beauty is in the imperfections. I have to turn it. Excuse me for 1 second. Oh, FedEx for my neighbors. Just pulled up. Okay. Let's cut this little doodad out. Oop. Okay, now we still don't have, we don't really have his hand, we don't really have we haven't defined where his arm is going, so I may cut this off and just redo, I may cut this off. You notice I'm not stressing about everything. When I was younger, even up to about, oops, got a very windy day, something just shut. Sorry, even up to a few years ago, I would stress and stress and stress and stress and stress and stress about not being perfect, or about being perfect. Because I thought you had to be perfect to be accepted, to be loved. You know what? If that's people's criteria, is how perfect you are, or how like them you are, I don't want anything to do with you. I'll be me, you be you. You do you so well. And if I don't like somebody, if they make me uncomfortable, I just leave. I walk away. But yeah, I used to think everything had to be perfect. We're going to attach this, by the way. Hang on. Everything I did had to be perfect. And so I would work myself into such a dither. Sorry. Into such a dither. I never got anything done. And that's why I'm stressing this. Stressing the imperfections. Life is a lot easier when you don't have to be somebody else's version of perfect. Or think that you should be. So now, actually that goes there. It's kind of weird looking, but that goes there. And what that does is it helps the captain of the boat to direct the engine, to move the engine, which then steers the boat because of the rudder. This is the engine. This goes down into the propeller and the rudder. So, and what that does is it moves the boat from side to side or turn it all the way around. So we're going to glue the little handle. You can use tape. You can use whatever you have to attach this. Doesn't matter. We're going to attach the handle to the motor thing. Just make sure you can pick it up. I just almost glued it to the cardboard. Okay, now we're going to decide on Scooter's arm. I'm not liking the angle of the arm, so I'm going to do this. Cutting close to the line, but not on top of it. We're going to give it space. Again, I just have allergies, you'll have to excuse me. We've got a lot of pollen going on. My neighbor's car is green. It's normally black. Okay, so we're going to use this. I think we're just going to cut a little off. Boink. Yep. And we're going to cut that off. Boink. Excuse me. Here we go. I gotta go take some Benadryl. Gonna cut it off. Boink. Just shaping and reshaping as we go. So it's no biggie. All right, little one. Okay. So we've got that. But now we're going to attach, we're going to make a little hand for Scooter. Again, a piece of scrap paper, so we're not wasting anything. There's nothing worse to me than waste. Okay, there's a couple things that are worse. But we don't need to waste materials we have. All right, that's his hand. A rounded, rectangle-y square shape. That's it. I'm going to take the pen, my brush pen. You take what you have. We're going to do the outline on it. Sorry. Let's see. We're going to do the outline on it. Now remember, if you're using Sharpie, oh, I should have said this in the beginning. If you're using a Sharpie pen, which I don't have here, they do bleed through. They bleed through onto the surface or onto the next piece of paper. This particular ink, which is, I think it has India ink in it, is soaked into the paper. It's not going to bleed through. But if you're using another marker, make sure it doesn't bleed. I'm cutting out his little hand. Oh, just want to trim a little bit more off. Boink. Boink. Look at that. Now Scooter's the captain. Look at how easy that was. And I hope you're thinking about the story that would go with this. What exactly are they doing? Are they on their weekly boat trip? Are they on a lake? Are they on the ocean? Have they ever done this before? What kind of relationship do they have? Obviously, Scooter loves Honey Bear. Is Honey Bear, I've been calling him he, but is Honey Bear really a boy or is Honey Bear a girl? I've been calling Scooter Grandpa, but is Scooter really Grandpa or could he be Grandma? Could he be grandparent? Does it really matter? Who could this be to you? All right, so we're gluing these guys together. We're going to glue Honey Bear down. What is the name of their boat? I like to call mine, almost all my illustrations, the SSB kind, which I'm going to make a plate for in a sec. What would yours be? What's the story behind here? What's the story going on? Pardon me. Oop, weird. Scooter. Yeah, we're going to pull everybody in a little bit. See this? Not particularly well planned out. I have done it several times before, so I do have practice. But even in those, they were quick little projects. All right, I think we're going to stop now. We're going to take a break because we've been at this for almost 45 minutes. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back in the next video, and we'll build the background. But here's something really cool. I was talking about the toilet paper earlier. This is something I really enjoy doing, is attaching the whoops, attaching pieces to toilet paper rolls, or cut up paper towel rolls, or even rolled up little pieces of scrap paper, and making 3D projects out of them. In fact, let me do this really quick, because this is super fun. This makes it so much fun. In the other illustrations, I drew fish. Whoops! In the other illustrations, I drew fish, glued them to the paper, so it's a little bit more flat. But because they're not drawn. Oh, come on, toilet paper. Because they're not drawn straight on, they still have a 3D effect. They still have a different feel than if the drawing had been done all at once on one flat sheet of paper. So let me draw a fish really quick, and I'm going to show you something super, super fun. We don't have waves yet. I'm not going to worry about that right now because we need to take a break. It's important to take breaks. Okay, there's my fish. Whoops. Let's break this down. Oval, oval, oval. Kind of a rectangle. When I was a kid, there was a movie called The Incredible Mr. Limpet. The Incredible Mr. Limpet. And it starred an actor named Don Knotts. And my sister and I used to watch it all the time, or whenever it came on television, because we didn't have streaming. And Mr. Limpet wanted to be big and brave, and he wasn't. He was a scaredy cat, and he was jealous of a man who was a sailor. So he wished to be a fish. And as the song in the movie goes, be careful how you wish, for wishes can come true. I've absolutely loved that movie my whole life. But that's who my little fish are based on, is the incredible Mr. Limpet. He ends up turning into a fish, by the way. And he saves the Navy during World War II. Because of his voice. All right. And by the way, that movie was old when I was growing up. I didn't grow up during World War II. I'm not that old. So there's my little fishy. I'm just going to cut him out really quick. Yeah, so if you look up Don Knotts, The Incredible Mr. Limpet, these aren't really limpet fish, but it's who I'm thinking of when I draw them. Alright, so there's my little fish, and I'm going to show you how to do something really fun. This project is not done, not close, but I want you thinking about something else. Not only the story behind Scooter and Honey Bear, but also ways you could make this even more fun for yourself. Now, I could just cut a piece of paper. That's it. I'm not going to use the toilet roll. Don't need anything that heavy for this. Put a little glue on it, on me. I'm just going to roll it up. Oop. Glue all over me. I got an old shirt on so I can wipe my hands on my shirt. Shouldn't do that. And then I glued it to the back of the fish. Okay. You can kind of see it. Who cares? My old OCD self, which does kick in periodically, would care greatly. But doing these loose drawings kind of helps me refocus, not worry about stuff as much. Now look, he's sitting on this just round piece of paper we rolled up and glued to the back of him. And I have this option later of attaching him like this, so he's standing out a little bit. We also have the option, if this paper were a little bit heavier, this would be a better option, of attaching these two, well, we still could do it, to toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls. Oops. So they're standing up. So it's the same idea as the fish, only attached to the back of these two. But we're going to take a break right now. I'm going to think about that idea. I want you thinking about the fish and it standing out. Because look at it, makes everything way more fun. Way, way more fun. And that's what we want. So we're going to come back. We'll work on the background later. Yeah, we're going to work on the background later. Okay? All right, see you in a bit. Ciao.